Hello, and this is game 2 in the cage match tournament with Druid. So, this board does not actually look particularly interesting at all. Just looks like you want to play a bunch of Heralds and Monuments and call that a day. With respect to Druid, we have the Sun's Gift, Flame's Gift, and the Sea's Gift appearing on your screen there. Those effects don't seem particularly interesting. Flame's Gift, Forager does it better. C's Gift, I don't care for the card because I expect to be drawing my entire deck. The only useful one, or one that I could see useful, is Sun's Gift. You could order the mana in which your heralds hit to avoid forcibly uh, drawing into and playing a forager, for instance, or maybe getting rid of a stack of monuments from the top of your deck. That is the only use I can see for Druid in this game. So we both open Forager and Monument. I go for the Monument there to fish for 5 to try to get a ball. Ball is going to be extremely important in this game, allowing us to pick up 4 costs very quickly here. Now, I did mention Herald and Monument at the start of the video, but my first 4 after the Monument, of course, is going to be a Caravan here. The reason for the Caravan is that it's a bit of a draw in the deck. It'll help me get around to my foragers more quickly and help to get the trashing done and um, build up my deck as quickly as possible with the extra draw that is. Monument doesn't draw. Herald doesn't have to draw, especially at this early stage of the game. But Caravan will for sure. Wishing Well can, but Caravan does for sure. 100% guaranteed. Anyways, so my opponent gets to 5 on his turn 4, which is nice. I didn't get there. And he goes for a second forager with his ball, as well as another caravan, which is good for him. Um, I'd like to have at least one caravan in play per turn here, so I'm going to pick up another caravan like my opponent does here. It just makes the deck that much more reliable, right? If you have a hand of like 4 monuments and a forager, which can happen, the extra card from the caravan might be able to pull you out. So I do go for a workers village here. I think this is an inaccuracy. My reasoning was that I would need the plus buy at some point when the foragers run out of things to trash. The flaw in that is that, well, on the last trash of your forager, you could just ball and then pick up the workers village off of the ball, right? You don't need to pick up the plus buy right now. A better there is Herald or Monument, even a Caravan. Wishing Well might even be better there too than that Workers Village. But it's been done. This was a bit stupid play here with the Foragers. Should have trashed the Copper first, then the Estate to go ahead and get 2 coins there. I would have picked up a Druid. I was fully expecting to get 2 coins too, but I just completely blanked. I just took it for granted that there was already a Copper in the trash, considering the amount of times we've played Forager, but not the case. Not the case. So my opponent does follow me on the Workers Village and he picks up a Herald here. Uh, Here I do see my Monument, which is fortunate, allows me to get up the ball. I'm gonna go for now a Herald and Monument pair, and at this point the deck kinda plays itself. You get $5, try to get to $10 on 2 buys, and just buy Heralds and Monuments. You don't need to buy anything else for a very long time on this board. That's all you need. All you need. Trash out with Forager, and you're good to go. You are good to go. So ball for my opponent is going to be a Herald and Monument pair. There's not a lot to be said for this game, honestly. Like I said, it's rather dull because we'll empty both of those piles and then probably go after provinces. Probably that seems to be the next natural step. Wishing Well as the obelisk here means you get 2 points for every Wishing Well in your deck, but Monument outscores that, I think. By the end of the game, a Monument will give you more points than a Wishing Well. Maybe not the last Monument that you buy, but definitely the ones before that will at least be equal to the 2 points I feel. I feel. And it's just so important to get the Monument, honestly. So important. So a Druid here for my opponent. So first Druid buy of the cage match. Woohoo. Very nicely done. I would have picked up a Druid on that turn where I botched the Foragers, but I botched the Foragers, right? So I only had one coin instead of two. But you don't really need the Druid on this board. The reordering is nice, but you don't need it, really. So 8 here, a bit more money now, seen a couple monuments. Still just enough for one ball, which is going to be another Herald and Monument pair. Shocking. And first wishing well, free 2 points, man. I have the extra $3. The wishing well may draw me a card too, so there is that. 8 again for my opponent. He's going to do the exact same thing. Exact same thing. Something I noticed on the board here, didn't mention it yet, is the Faithful Hound and Embassy. Embassy can discard the Faithful Hound, and you can find all of those dogs back in your hand at the start of your next turn, which is nice. I mean, I don't end up buying uh, a Hound or an Embassy here, but good to notice things, I guess. Not being able to play all these monuments makes me go for a couple heralds here instead of the usual herald monument pair. But I will return to regularly scheduled programming soon enough anyway. Soon enough. So Druid comes out here for my opponent, and he does use it for the Sun's Gift here, which I thought would be really the only useful boon of the three that was offered by Druid. Again, they also have plus buy on Druid too, right? So that's nice. Don't need to go, forcibly put in workers' villages into your deck to get the plus buy. That was bad. Okay, it was bad. It was bad. So let's see. Like I said, uh, not very interested. He does get up to ball here, so Herald Monument, no worries there at all for him. I'm not actually concerned about forcibly drawing and playing into Heralds. I don't particularly care. I mean, into Foragers, I'll just trash whatever is least valuable in my hand. And here, fortunately enough, I managed to get up to double ball and two buys. Well, two balls, two buys, and I buy the last two Heralds and the last two Monuments. So throughout this buying sequence, I was trying to push a little bit harder on the monuments because I wanted to get up to double ball as soon as possible. And it did turn out to pay off there, but really, like this whole game, my opponent and I, we had the same idea basically. It may have just come down to shuffle luck, honestly, that allowed me to win the monument split. And I think also the Herald split with that buy. And not just shuffle luck as well, but I had first play on this board. So that was really nice, assuming that we both built identically well. I would have picked up the 10 hand before my opponent, and that means that I was able to empty the heralds and monuments before he was able to. So, just it's not a good board to be going second on, I feel. Here I pause for a small while to see if I can end the game on triple ball, picking up all the wishing wells. I don't have that much money. I only have money for 5 of them, which now is the next thing that's going through my head. Is 5 good enough? A two-step ending? Can probably pick up the last wishing well next turn instead of going after provinces here. I do the calculations. 5 wishing wells is 10 extra points. I'm 7 ahead right now. That is 17 extra points. There's no way you could do that. No way you could do that, right? No way you could get 17 points and end the game on me. So I go for the 5 wishing wells here. And really, my opponent he's just been in a tough spot for nearly all of this game. Right, just been a little bit behind on monument points, and that big double ball turn was really a big turning point here. That really shut him out of the game effectively, I thought. Anyway, um, at this point, he doesn't really have much of a play except to go after a province, but it's very easy for me to get the wishing well. He has to hope that I have 5 monuments in my hand, for instance, and then maybe he could win on the wishing well pile out. So small element of risk, but I was willing to go for it, especially with the large injection of wishing wells into the deck. It's less likely that I'll draw a handful of monuments that way. So I do make a miscalculation at the end here, as I did in the first game. I counted 17 points difference, right? I was wrong. my opponent has 4 monuments and he can play them, so that cuts the points difference down to 13. So that could have come into play. I completely neglected that he had monuments to play for points. Luckily, it doesn't hurt me here, but you never know, man. That could have hurt me, like the fountain play in the last game. So, scratchy end game a little bit here. Probably shouldn't have. I should have accounted for those monument points. I did, however, account for the money correctly. I told myself, look, I have $13 and I have the majority of the monuments. There's no way he has more money than I do, so he can't do something grand like double province and then wishing well or something. So at least I was right on that. At least I was right on that. But I needed to be right on the monument too to be, 100% precise. So I cut my turn short here and just pick up the last wishing well for the win. So that is game two. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.